What up, chat? Okay, so I have a homework assignment to do. It's this thing. It's actually extra credit. So if you could help me answer these questions, main takeaway. I mean, like, it's supposed to be my own main takeaway, but it's all good. It should be fine. Trump addresses. I took off my revenue thing. Just 'cause I don't want people to be like, you're making money off of this, it should be copyrighted. Man, my teacher, he made this an understatement. He said this would be boring. This is more than boring. Jesus Christ.
Madam Speaker, the President of the United States.
Wait, he didn't lie. He was like, someone's gonna bang the gavel thingy. And the president's gonna walk in. My teacher. Chat. This is boringer than I thought it. Yes, I said this is boringer. Oh, if you haven't already, join my Discord. I actually have 3 Discords now. Actually, I also I figured out how to do this. Running 3 servers, because I now have 3 Discords. See? This one. The Office. And the CW. This is more boring than I thought it would be. I'll see how much of a delay is here. About a 30-second delay. Yeah. There's the President Donald J. Trump. F. I want to have it live. Yeah. Where's this broken item here? Yes, I am just.
Members of Congress, the President of the United States.
Don't give enough about no peer. You don't give enough about no peer. You don't give enough about no peer. Is that Melania? Ivanka Trump?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Madam Speaker, Mr. Vice President, members of Congress, the First Lady of the United States,
Your wife.
and my fellow citizens.
Honestly, at this point, I just
3
want
years ago, we launched the Great American Comeback. Tonight, I stand before you to share the incredible results.
Honestly, that's just giving
Jobs
the
are
background.
booming, incomes are
Here's something
soaring,
to do.
poverty is plummeting, crime is falling, confidence is surging, and our country is thriving and highly respected again.
Honestly, this is so boring. I'm just gonna. No, okay, I'm gonna make a category.
America's enemies are on the run. America's fortunes are on the rise, and America's
I'm
future
streaming the State of the
is
Union.
blazing
State
bright.
of the Union.
The years of
is
economic decay are over.
boring. Please. Have a conversation with me. Honestly.
The days of our country being used, taken advantage of, and even scorned by other nations are long behind us.
Yeah.
Gone too are the broken promises, jobless recoveries, tired platitudes, and constant excuses for the depletion
I just want to talk
of American
to someone.
wealth, power, and prestige. In just 3 short years, we have shattered the mentality of American decline, and we have rejected the downsizing of Americans' destiny. We have totally rejected the downsizing.
Can I make this thing go away? I feel
We're
like I've
moving
done
forward
everything
at a pace that was unimaginable just a short time ago, and we are never, ever going back.
This is very boring. Yo, Anon,
I am thrilled
if you
to
see
report
any
to
of
you
these,
tonight that our economy
you
is the
hear that,
best it has ever been.
put it in Discord, please.
Our military
Just
is
help me out.
completely rebuilt, with its power being unmatched anywhere in the world, and
I
it's
feel like
not
that
even
counts as a
close.
major topic.
Our borders are secure. Our families are flourishing. Our values are renewed. Our pride is restored. And for all of these reasons, I say to the people of our great country and to the members of Congress, the state of our union is stronger than ever before.
My teacher, my 20th century American history teacher,
The
this is
vision I will
already
lay out
boring.
this evening demonstrates how we are building the world's most prosperous and inclusive society, one where every citizen can join in America's unparalleled success, and where every community can take part
They better
in
not copyright
America's
me. I mean, I
extraordinary
looked it up,
rise.
and in the White
From
House
the
website,
instant
it
I
said
took office, I
anything
moved
in their
rapidly
website.
to revive the U.S. economy, slashing a record number
isn't
of job-killing
copyright.
regulations, enacting historic and record-setting tax cuts, and fighting for fair and reciprocal trade agreements. Our agenda is relentlessly pro-worker, pro-family, pro-growth, and most of all, pro-American. Thank you. We are advancing with unbridled optimism, and lifting our citizens of every race, color, religion, and creed very, very high. Since my election, we have created 7 million new jobs, 5 million more than government experts projected during the previous administration.
Imagine.
The unemployment rate is the lowest in over half a century. And very incredibly, the average unemployment rate under my administration is lower than any administration in the history of our country. If we hadn't reversed the failed economic policies of the previous administration, the world would not now be witnessing this great economic success. The unemployment rate for African Americans, Hispanic Americans, and Asian Americans has reached the lowest levels in history.
Pogger. Why am I in full screen?
African American youth unemployment has reached an all-time low. African American poverty has declined to the lowest rate ever recorded. The unemployment rate for women reached the lowest level in almost 70 years, and last year women filled 72% of all new jobs added.
Shift, I think it's last year, and that's what makes
the veterans' unemployment rate dropped to a record low. The unemployment rate for disabled Americans has reached an all-time low.
There we go. Better.
Workers without a high school diploma have achieved the lowest unemployment rate recorded in U.S. history.
This is
a record number of young Americans are now employed. Under the last administration, more than 10 million people were added to the food stamp rolls. Under my administration, 7 million Americans have come off food stamps, and 10 million people have been lifted off of welfare. In 8 years under the last administration, over 300,000 working-age people dropped out of the workforce. In just 3 years of my administration, 3.5 million people, working-age people, have joined the workforce. Since my election, the net worth of the bottom half of wage earners has increased by 47%, 3 times faster than the increase for the top 1%. After decades of flat and falling incomes,
Oh my
wages
God.
are rising fast, and wonderfully,
Wait.
they are rising fastest for low-income workers
I
who
never
have
said his
seen a
name.
16% pay increase since my election.
Did I? Okay. What up, Dino?
This is a
How's your day?
blue-collar boom.
I never said his name.
Real median household income is now at
Oh.
the highest level ever recorded.
A Dino? Yeah, that's fine.
Since my election, U.S. stock markets have soared
That's
70%,
Did I
adding
ever say
more than
Trump?
$12 trillion to our nation's
Trump's our-
wealth, transcending anything
Trump is
anyone
literally
believed
the
was
president of the
possible.
United
This is a
States.
record. It is something that
Fudge.
every country
We'll be back in a
the
moment.
world is looking up to. They admire. Consumer confidence has just reached amazing new highs. All of those millions of people with 401ks and pensions are doing far better than they have ever done before, with increases of 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100% and even more. Jobs and investments are pouring into 9,000 previously neglected neighborhoods thanks to Opportunity Zones, a plan spearheaded by Senator Tim Scott as part of our great Republican tax cuts. In other words, wealthy people and companies are pouring money into
I'm gonna
poor
watch
neighborhoods or areas
Tell
that haven't
I
seen investment in many decades,
finish
creating jobs,
my-
energy, and excitement. This is the first time that these deserving communities have seen anything like this. It's all working. Opportunity Zones are helping Americans like Army veteran Tony Rankins from Cincinnati, Ohio. After struggling with drug addiction, Tony lost his job, his house, and his family. He was homeless. But then Tony found a construction company that invests in Opportunity Zones. He is now a top tradesman, drug-free, reunited with his family, and he is here tonight. Tony, keep up the great work, Tony.
This is an outcome, though. Check. Dang, it didn't even change. You're my dad. Oh, wait, it did change.
Thank you, Tony.
Dino, who
Our
are
roaring
you?
economy has, for the first time
Look
ever,
at that thing.
given many former prisoners the ability to get a great job
It's not
and a fresh
alcohol,
start.
though.
This second
This
chance
is
at life is made
apple
possible
cider.
because we passed landmark criminal justice reform into law. Everybody said that criminal justice reform couldn't be done, but I got it done, and the people in this room got it done. Thanks to our bold regulatory reduction campaign, the United States has become the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere in the world, by far.
You're my dad. Boogie, woogie, woogie.
With the tremendous progress we have made over the past 3 years, America is now energy independent, and energy jobs,
Apple
like
cider.
so many other elements of our country, are at a record high. We are doing numbers that no one would have thought possible just 3 years ago. Likewise, we are restoring our nation's manufacturing
apple
might,
cider whenever I
even though
drink this so I don't get
predictions were,
copyrighted.
as you all know, that this
Apple
could
cider.
never, ever be done. After losing
not
60,000
copyrighted.
factories under the previous two
don't get like a,
administrations, America has now gained
can you guideline
12,000
strike?
new factories
Like,
under my
"Gee, drinking,
administration,
that's bad," 'cause
with
it
thousands
is
upon
bad.
thousands of plants and factories being planned or being built.
Apple cider.
Companies are not leaving. They are coming back to the USA. The fact is that everybody wants to be where the action is, and the United States of America is indeed the place where the action is.
The act. Oh,
One of the biggest promises I made to the American people was to replace the disastrous NAFTA
oh,
trade
the
deal.
questions. Yeah, anyone
In
else
fact,
in chat?
unfair
like,
trade is perhaps the single biggest reason
if
that
you
I
help me
decided
with
to
these
run
questions,
for
you
president.
get a cookie.
Following NAFTA's adoption, our nation lost 1 in 4 manufacturing jobs. Many politicians came and went pledging to change or replace NAFTA, only to do so, and then absolutely nothing happened.
No, I got the.
But unlike
it's
so
fine.
many who came before me, I keep my promises. We did our job.
Oh, my dad. Wiggy.
6 days ago, I replaced NAFTA and signed the brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement into law. The USMCA will create nearly 100,000 new high-paying American auto jobs and massively boost exports for our farmers, ranchers, and factory workers.
Apple cider.
It will also bring trade with
Teach, I'm
Mexico
running
and
3
Canada
servers.
to a much higher level, but also to be a much greater degree of fairness and reciprocity. We will have that fairness and reciprocity, and I say that finally because it's been many, many years that we were treated fairly on trade. This is the first major trade deal in many years to earn the strong backing of America's labor unions. I also promised our citizens that I would impose tariffs to
100%
confront
juice.
China's massive theft of America's jobs.
It's not alcohol.
Our strategy has worked. Days
I
ago,
have
we
no
signed
clue.
the groundbreaking new agreement with China that will defend our workers, protect our intellectual property, bring billions and billions of dollars into our treasury, and open vast new markets for products made and grown right here in the USA.
Oh, I did.
For
Why does it do
decades,
it?
China has taken advantage
Why
of the
doesn't it
United
show it
States.
when I go
Now
like
we
that?
have changed that. But at the same time, we have
Someone needs to tell
perhaps
me.
the best relationship we've ever had with China, including with President Xi. They respect what we've done because, quite frankly, they could never really believe that they were able to get away
Who is this?
with what they were
Dino
doing
guy, though.
year after year, decade after decade, without someone in our country stepping up and saying, that's enough. Now we want to rebuild our country, and that's exactly what we're doing.
You
We
talking
are
to that
rebuilding
mic.
our country.
Boy, talking
As
to that
we
mic.
restore American leadership throughout the world, we are once again standing up for freedom in our hemisphere. That's why my administration reversed the failing policies of the previous administration on
I think I'm the
Cuba.
only non-news channel not streaming this.
We are supporting the hopes of Cubans, Nicaraguans, and
Wouldn't be
Venezuelans to restore democracy. The United States is leading a 59-nation diplomatic coalition against the socialist dictator of Venezuela.
Yeah, you got that
Nicolas
yummy,
Maduro.
yummy, 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 yummy. Girl, I got that yummy, 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 yummy. What up, Uzobi?
Maduro is an illegitimate
I didn't
ruler,
even make
a
the
tyrant who
thumbnail.
brutalizes his
wanted the
people.
thumbnail.
But Maduro's grip on tyranny will be smashed and broken. Here this
Got that
evening,
yummy,
very
yummy,
brave man
yummy, yummy.
who carries with him the hopes, dreams, and aspirations
You're
of
like-
all Venezuelans.
Get-
Joining
I
us
hate
in the
that damn
gallery
thing. Yeah, I hate
is
it
the
too, by
true
way.
and legitimate president of
Yeah, let's
Venezuela,
see.
Juan
Only news channels
Guaido.
are streaming it.
Mr. President, please take
this
this
up.
message back to your homeland.
See if I scroll all the way down past all the news channels. Am I gonna find me? I should follow me too, I think. Yeah, no. Wait, what happened?
Thank you, Mr. President. Great honor. Thank you very much. Please take this message back that all Americans are united with the Venezuelan people in their righteous struggle for freedom. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Like literally, my teacher, I got big underscore.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna change my title.
Socialism
State of the
destroys
Union.
nations,
No.
but always remember freedom unifies the soul.
It's-
To safeguard American liberty, we have invested a record-breaking $2.2 trillion in the United States military.
I'm kind of forgetting how to say wrong.
We have purchased the finest planes, missiles, rockets, ships, and every other form of military equipment, and it's all made right here
Whoa,
in
hold
the
on.
USA.
Whoa. Self-promo, self-promo. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. No.
We are also getting our allies, finally, to help pay their fair share.
Self-promo. Bad. Did I take him out of timeout now? Oh, no.
I have
Whoops.
raised contributions from other NATO members by more than $400 billion,
Slash.
and the number of allies meeting their
I
minimum
know you did.
obligations has more than doubled. And just weeks ago, for the first time since President Truman established the Air Force, more than 70 years earlier, we created a brand new branch of the United States Armed Forces. It's called
Dang
the
it.
Space Force.
I don't know how to untime out you.
Very important.
Whoops.
In the gallery tonight, we have a young gentleman and what he wants so badly, 13 years old, Ian Lonfay. He's an 8th grader from Arizona. Ian, please stand up.
He wants to
Ian
be
has
that.
always dreamed of going to space. He was the first in his class and among the youngest at an aviation academy. He aspires to go to the Air Force Academy, and
Let me
then
just get-
he has his eye on the Space Force.
And he
As
does he
Ian says,
want
most
to be
people
there?
look up
Look
at
this kid
space.
just
I want to
sitting
look
back here like-
down on the world. But sitting behind Ian tonight is his greatest hero of them all. Charles McGee was born in Cleveland, Ohio, 1 century ago. Charles is one of the last surviving Tuskegee Airmen, the first black fighter pilots, and he also happens to be Ian's great-grandfather.
You might have to wait 600 seconds to watch this 300. Great grandfather, huh? I think my great grandfather's deceased. My great grandfather's just in a better place.
Incredible story. After more than 130 combat missions in World War II, he came back home to a country still struggling for civil rights and went on to serve America in Korea and Vietnam.
That might be why
On December 7th, Charles celebrated his 100th birthday. A few weeks ago, I signed a bill promoting Charles McGee to Brigadier General, and earlier today, I pinned the stars on his shoulders in the Oval Office. General McGee, our nation salutes you. Thank you, sir.
Wiggy. I went to the 3 dots, dude. It only gives me the option.
The Pilgrims to the founders,
to put
from the
you in a
soldiers at Valley
timeout.
Forge to the marchers at Selma, and from President Lincoln to the Reverend Martin Luther King, Americans have always rejected limits on our
Why no?
children's
Yeah, it
future.
would. I would test
Members
it,
of
but, like,
Congress, we must never forget that the only victories that matter in Washington are victories that deliver for the American people. The people are the heart of our country. Their dreams are the soul of our country, and their love is what powers and
Honestly,
sustains
Chet.
our country. We must always remember that our job is
Literally.
to put America
Someone
first.
comes in here. I'm just gonna like. I'm gonna highlight it. No, okay.
The next step forward in building an inclusive society is making sure that every young American gets a great education and the opportunity to achieve the American dream. Yet for too long, countless American children have been trapped in failing government schools.
Nah.
To rescue
Yeah.
these students, 18
right
states
back.
have created school choice in the form of
no, I've never
opportunity
done that, no.
scholarships. The programs are so popular that tens of thousands of students
Whatever.
remain on a waiting list.
Woogie.
One of those students is Janiah Davis, a fourth
Let me
grader
guess.
from Philadelphia.
He's in there
Janiah.
right now. You know, according to my teacher, people were there at 8 o'clock this morning so they could get an aisle seat just to get a selfie and get President Trump's
Janiah's mom, Stephanie,
autograph.
is a single parent. She would do anything to give her daughter a better future. But last year, that future was put further out of reach when Pennsylvania's governor vetoed legislation to expand school choice to 50,000 children. Janiyah and Stephanie are in the gallery. Stephanie, thank you so much for being here with your beautiful daughter. Thank you very much. But Janiyah, I have some good news for you, because I am pleased to inform you that your long wait is over. I can proudly announce tonight that an Opportunity Scholarship has become available. It's going to you, and you will soon be heading to the school of your choice. Now I call on Congress to give 1 million American children the same opportunity Janiyah has just received. Pass the Education Freedom Scholarships and Opportunities Act, because no parent should be forced to send their child to a failing government
Don't email
school.
that. Oh my God. Boogie, boogie, boogie. Don't email us.
Every young person
Please don't email that,
should have a
guys.
safe and secure environment in which to learn and to grow.
What is that?
For this reason, our magnificent First Lady has launched the Be Best initiative to advance a safe, healthy, supportive, and drug-free life for the next generation, online, in school, and in our communities. Thank you, Melania, for your extraordinary love and profound care
I thought it
for
was
America's
Milana.
children. Thank you very much.
Not Melania. Know that.
My administration is determined to give our citizens the opportunities they need, regardless of age
Main
or background.
F.
Through our pledge to American workers, over 400
Where's
companies will also provide new jobs and education opportunities to almost 15 million Americans. My budget also contains an exciting vision for our nation's high schools. Tonight, I ask Congress to support our students and back my plan to offer vocational and technical education
The
in every
Office.
single high school in America.
CW. Hold on.
To expand equal opportunity, I am also proud that we achieved record and
No, but-
permanent funding for
No,
our
no.
nation's historically black colleges and universities.
Black Lives Matter. They do. But like, oh my God. Woogie, woogie.
A good life for American families also requires the most affordable, innovative, and high-quality health care system on earth. Before I took office, health insurance premiums had more than doubled in just 5 years. I moved quickly to provide affordable alternatives. Our new plans are up to 60% less expensive and better.
How'd I know there was a problem? Discord.
I've also made an ironclad pledge to American families. We will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions.
Ooh, that's Mike Pence behind him.
And we will always protect your
chat,
Medicare, and we will always protect your
you go to my
Social
Discord.
Security, always.
Go to giveaways. You can get my exclusive legend link.
The American patient should never be blindsided by medical bills. That is why I signed an executive order
that's
requiring
right. Yeah,
price
do that.
transparency.
If I win, which I don't think I can, yeah, I do.
Many experts believe that transparency, which will go into full effect at the beginning of next year, will be even bigger than health care reform. It will save families massive amounts of money for substantially better care.
Now there's two
But
more
as we
people
work
in
to
here.
improve Americans' health care,
This
there
is
are those who
boring
want to
as
take
hell.
away your health care, take away your doctor, and abolish private insurance entirely. 132 lawmakers in this room have endorsed legislation to impose a socialist takeover of our health care system, wiping out the private health insurance
back
plans
yet.
of 180 million very happy Americans. To those watching at home tonight, I want you to know we will never let socialism destroy American health care. Over 130 legislators in this chamber have endorsed legislation that would bankrupt our nation by providing free taxpayer-funded health care to millions of illegal aliens, forcing taxpayers to subsidize
What do you
free
mean by
care
illegal
for
aliens?
anyone
I
in the world
believe
who unlawfully crosses our
is-
borders.
Yeah.
These proposals would
Immigrants.
raid
Or-
the
well, not
Medicare
immigrants.
benefits of
People
our
that are here
seniors and
illegally.
that our seniors depend on, while acting as a powerful lure for illegal immigration. That is what is happening in California and other states. Their systems are
You know,
totally out of control,
The other day I
costing
did a
taxpayers
stream.
vast and
I
unaffordable
literally
amounts of money.
decided to put my head down
And
over there.
forcing
I was
American
actually playing a game.
taxpayers to
Does that make
provide
sense?
unlimited free
I put my
health
head
care
down
to
for like
illegal
2
aliens
seconds
sounds fair
on
to
my
you,
bed.
then
Passed
stand
out.
with the radical
I also did a
left.
24-hour stream.
But if you believe
I
that
was
we
asleep
should
for about
defend
5
American
hours of it.
patients and American seniors, then stand with
Four.
me and pass legislation to prohibit free
I streamed for
government health
16
care
hours.
for illegal aliens.
And then I fell asleep. I don't know. Like 6. Well, my 24-hour stream isn't even up.
This will be a tremendous boon
I don't
to
think
our
that-
already very strongly guarded southern border, where, as we speak, a long, tall, and very powerful wall is being built.
Is that the Great Wall of China?
We have now completed over 100 miles and have over 500 miles fully completed in a very short period of time. Early next year, we will have substantially more than 500 miles completed. My administration is also taking on the big pharmaceutical companies. We have approved a record number of affordable generic drugs, and medicines are being
I take
approved by the
the pill.
FDA at a faster clip
prescribed to me
than
for a
ever before.
Yeah, I think that's straight out. Maybe shouldn't know that though.
And I was pleased to announce last year that for the first time in 51 years, the cost of prescription drugs actually went down. And working together, Congress can reduce drug prices substantially from current levels. I've been speaking to Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa and others in Congress in order to get something on drug pricing done, and done quickly and properly. I'm calling for bipartisan legislation that achieves the goal of dramatically lowering prescription drug prices. Get a bill on my desk, and I will sign it into law immediately.
It doesn't go to you first.
First it goes to what is it? Legislative first?
the legislative, executive, and judicial.
I don't think it goes to the right.
With
It goes
unyielding
to
commitment,
Congress first,
we are
and then goes to
curbing
someone
the
else,
opioid
and then it goes
epidemic.
to him.
Drug
But
overdose
if the
deaths
second one doesn't like
declined
it,
for
then
the
it goes back
first
to
time
Congress.
in nearly 30 years. Among the states hardest hit, Ohio is down 22%.
Is she her?
Pennsylvania is down 18%.
This is the Speaker of the
Wisconsin is
House,
down
I believe.
10%. And we will not quit until we have
This is
beaten
Nancy
the
Pelosi.
opioid epidemic once
Mm.
and for all.
She is the one that led the impeachment against Trump. The gap.
Protecting Americans' health also means fighting infectious diseases. We are coordinating with the Chinese government and working closely
Historical
together
events mentioned.
on the
Key
coronavirus
points he made
outbreak
that I
in
agree
China.
with, key points he made
My
that I
administration
disagree
will
with.
take all necessary steps to
That was the
safeguard
main
our
takeaway.
citizens from this
My
threat.
main takeaway.
We have launched ambitious new initiatives to substantially improve care for Americans with kidney disease, Alzheimer's, and those struggling with mental health. And because Congress was so good as to fund my request, new cures for childhood cancer, and we will eradicate the AIDS epidemic in America by the end of this decade. Almost every American family knows the pain when a loved one is diagnosed with a serious illness. Here tonight is a special man, beloved by millions of Americans,
No.
who just received a
There's been a lot of
stage 4
special men and
advanced
women there.
cancer diagnosis. This is not good news, but what is good news is that he is the greatest fighter and winner that you will ever meet. Rush Limbaugh, thank you for your decades of tireless
Mike Pence
devotion to our
To
country.
the left is Mike Pence, to the right is Nancy Pelosi. By the way. I swear that's Melania Trump right there. You know that? Hold on.
Nolena, however you pronounce it, I don't know.
And Rush, in recognition of all that you have done for our nation, the millions of people a day
Making this supposed to
that
be
you
right
speak to and that you inspire, and all of the incredible work
now. Yeah, it was
that you have done for charity, I am proud to announce tonight that you will be receiving our country's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
His mouth is just open. He's like,
Oh my god, I get a medal. Such a shiny medal. Thank you. You're only giving it to me because I have cancer. So, it's great that he fought through that, but who is he, really? If he didn't fight cancer, who is he?
I will now ask the First Lady of the United States to present you with the honor, please.
Yeah, that is Melania Trump. He's like, oh my god, I get a medal in front of a million people. And there's probably like a million people watching this live.
wow, I get a medal that probably costs less than $20 to make. Highest civilian medal. Oh, it's kind of cool, but still. I mean,
Rush and Catherine, congratulations. Thank you, Catherine. As we pray for all who are sick,
running
we know that
pieces.
America is constantly
Smile.
achieving new medical breakthroughs. In 2017, doctors at St. Luke's Hospital in Kansas City delivered one of the earliest premature babies ever to survive. Born
Oh,
at
it's actually
just
premature.
21 weeks and 6 days and weighing less than a pound,
I weighed
Ellie
less than a
Schneider
pound.
was a born fighter.
I weighed
Through
less.
the skill of her doctors and the prayers of her parents, little Ellie kept on winning the battle of life. Today,
That was like
Ellie is a
2
strong,
months
healthy
early.
2-year-old girl sitting with her amazing mother, Robin. In the gallery, Ellie and Robin, we are glad to have you with us tonight.
Hold on. How was it premature? I swear it says my weight on here.
Ellie reminds us that every child is a miracle of life. And thanks to modern medical wonders, 50% of very premature babies delivered at the hospital where Ellie was born now survive. It's an
I
incredible
was born in
thing. Thank you very much.
2004. I was more premature than her, I'm pretty sure.
Our goal should be to ensure that every baby has the best chance to thrive and grow just like Ellie. That is why I'm asking
no.
Congress to
Yeah, no.
provide an additional
I was
$50
3
million
pounds,
to
6
fund
ounces.
neonatal research for America's youngest patients.
Never mind.
That is why I'm also calling upon members of Congress here tonight to pass legislation finally banning the late-term abortion of babies.
Oh no, that. I feel like that you shouldn't be able to ban that. I mean, I'm condoning it, but I feel like that's not something you should be allowed to ban.
Whether we are Republican, Democrat, or Independent, surely we must all agree that every human life is a sacred gift
My
from God.
teacher has a
As we
shirt
support
in his
America's
room
moms and
talking
dads, I
about
was
how,
recently
like,
proud
he
to
loves
sign
abortion or something.
the law providing new
Not
parents
loving
in
abortion.
the federal workforce
How,
paid
like,
family leave,
you should be able to
serving
let
as a model
people should,
for the rest of the country.
be able to the abortion. But it's their choice or something. I don't know, like something about abortion. He has an abortion, so let's just go with that. And then I'll end it there. Okay?
Now I call on Congress to pass the
no clue who this
bipartisan
guy is.
Advancing Support for Working Families Act, extending family leave to mothers and fathers all across our nation.
I mean, Anna.
40 million American families have an average $2,200 extra thanks to our child tax credit. I've also overseen historic funding increases for high-quality child care, enabling 17 states to help more children, many of which have reduced or eliminated their wait lists altogether. And I sent Congress a plan with a vision to further expand access to high-quality child care and urge you to act immediately. To protect the environment, days ago I announced that the United States will join the 1 Trillion Trees Initiative, an ambitious effort to bring together government and private sector to plant new trees in
That's
America and all around the world.
Mr. Beast did that.
I'm gonna tweet that out.
We must also rebuild America's infrastructure. I ask you to pass Senator John Barrasso's highway bill to invest in new roads, bridges, and tunnels all across our land. I'm also committed to ensuring that every citizen can have access to high-speed internet, including and especially in rural America.
Iowa. Iowa has a very stupid thing. Voting thing. What's I gonna say?
A better tomorrow for all Americans also
Mr.
requires us to keep
Oh,
America
that's not what I
safe.
wanted to say.
That means supporting the men and women of law enforcement at every level, including our nation's heroic ICE officers.
Yeah.
Last year, our brave ICE officers arrested more than 120,000 criminal aliens charged with nearly 10,000 burglaries, 5,000 sexual assaults, 45,000 violent assaults, and 2,000 murders. Tragically, there are many cities in America where radical politicians have chosen to provide sanctuary for these criminal illegal aliens. In sanctuary cities, local officials order police to release dangerous criminal aliens to prey upon the public instead of handing them over to ICE to be safely removed. Just 29 days ago, a criminal alien freed by the sanctuary city of New York was charged with the brutal rape and murder of a 92-year-old woman. The killer had been previously
That's one
arrested
old
for assault,
damn.
but under New York sanctuary policies, he was set free. If the city had honored
92?
ICE's detainer request, his
How old was the
victim
guy?
would still be alive today. The state of California passed an outrageous law declaring their
Look at
whole
Nancy
state
Pelosi
to
and
be
Mike
a
Pence backing it up.
sanctuary for criminal illegal
92?
immigrants. A very
Jesus
terrible
Christ, that's
sanctuary with catastrophic results. Here is just one tragic example. In December 2018,
shit,
California
yeah,
police
couldn't
detained an illegal alien with 5 prior arrests, including convictions for robbery and assault. But as required by California's sanctuary law,
They let her out.
local authorities released him. Days later, the criminal alien went on a gruesome spree of deadly violence. He viciously shot one man going about his daily work. He approached a woman sitting in her car and shot her in the arm and in the chest. He walked into a convenience store and wildly fired his weapon. He hijacked a truck and smashed into vehicles, critically injuring innocent victims. One of the victims is a terrible, terrible situation. Died, 51-year-old American named Rocky Jones. Rocky was at a gas station when this vile criminal fired 8 bullets at him from close range, murdering him in cold blood.
Excessive much?
Rocky left behind a
Save some
devoted
bullets,
family,
man.
including his brothers, who loved him more than anything else in the
Don't shoot
world.
at all. That's what I mean by
One
save
of his
bullets.
grieving brothers is here with us tonight. Jody, would you please stand? Jody, thank you. Jody, our hearts weep for your loss, and we will not rest until you have justice. Senator Tom Tillis has introduced legislation to allow Americans like Jody to sue sanctuary cities and states when a loved one is hurt or killed as a result of these deadly practices. I ask Congress to pass the Justice for Victims of Sanctuary Cities Act immediately. The United States of America should be a sanctuary for law-abiding Americans, not criminal aliens.
Oh.
In the last 3 years, ICE has arrested over 5,000 wicked human traffickers, and I have signed 9 pieces of legislation to stamp out the menace of human trafficking domestically and all around the globe. My administration has undertaken an unprecedented effort to secure the southern border of the United States. Before I came into office, if you showed up illegally on our southern border and were arrested, you were simply released and allowed into our country, never to be seen again. My administration has ended catch and release. If you come illegally, you will now be promptly removed from our country. Very importantly, we entered into historic cooperation agreements with the governments of Mexico, Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala. As a result of our unprecedented efforts, illegal crossings are down 75% since May, dropping 8 straight months in a row. And as the wall rapidly goes up, drug seizures rise, and the border crossings are going down and going down very rapidly. Last year, I traveled to the border in Texas and met Chief Patrol Agent Raul Ortiz. Over the last 24 months, Agent Ortiz and his team have seized more than 200,000 pounds of poisonous narcotics,
24 months,
arrested more than 3,000 human smugglers, and rescued more than 2,000 migrants. Days ago, Agent Ortiz was promoted to Deputy Chief of Border Patrol, and he joins us tonight. Chief Ortiz, please stand.
I'm surprised he hasn't reported him. He looks Mexican. He looks like a drunk. I'm kidding.
A grateful nation thanks you and all of the heroes of Border Patrol and ICE. Thank you very much. Thank you. To build on these historic gains, we are working on legislation to replace our outdated and randomized immigration system with one based on merit, welcoming those who follow the rules, contribute to our economy, support themselves financially, and uphold our values. With every action, my administration is restoring the rule of law and reasserting the culture of American freedom.
Emojis and stuff. Saying I'm in love and I'm running 3 servers. That's the life.
Working with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Thank you, Mitch. And his colleagues in the Senate, we have confirmed a record number of 187 new federal judges to uphold our Constitution as written. This includes 2 brilliant new Supreme Court justices, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh. Thank you. And we have many in the pipeline. My administration is also defending religious liberty, and that includes the constitutional right to pray in public schools. In America, we don't punish prayer. We don't tear down crosses. We don't ban symbols of faith.
Yeah,
We
it's a
don't muzzle
constitutional
preachers
right
and
to,
pastors. In America, we
one of the
celebrate
amendments.
faith. We cherish
Or
religion.
whatever.
We lift our voices in prayer, and we raise our
But like,
sights
you
to
don't
the
have
glory
to
of
be
God.
religious. It's just
Just as we believe in the
amendment
First
that you can
Amendment,
be.
we also believe in another constitutional right that is under siege all across our country. So long as I am president, I will always protect your Second Amendment right to keep and
Done.
bear arms.
Yep. These are the Republicans, these are the Democrats over there. Republicans all clap. The Democrats, they're like, no, we don't clap for you here. Unless it's about the
In
military.
reaffirming our heritage as a free nation, we must remember that America has always been a frontier nation.
I love
Now we
apple
must
cider.
embrace the next frontier, America's manifest destiny in the stars. I am asking Congress to fully fund the Artemis program to ensure that the next man and the first woman on the moon will be American astronauts, using this as a launching pad to ensure that America is the first nation to plant its flag on Mars. My administration is also strongly defending our national security
It's
and
supposed to be like,
combating
I really don't wanna
radical
be here.
Islamic terrorism.
Apparently, according to my teacher, Mike Pence would always be like, for everything.
Last week, I announced a
But now he's actually gonna
groundbreaking
smile.
plan for peace
what my
between
teacher
Israel
said.
and the Palestinians. Recognizing that all past attempts have failed, we must be determined and creative in order to stabilize the region and give millions of young people the chance to realize a better future. 3 years ago, the barbarians of ISIS held over 20,000 square miles of territory in Iraq and Syria. Today, the ISIS territorial caliphate has been 100% destroyed, and the founder and leader of ISIS, the bloodthirsty killer known as al-Baghdadi, is dead.
So who do you guys leave in jail, you know? Good question for his friends. Anon, yes.
We
Get
are
back
joined
in
this
here.
evening by Carl and Marcia Mueller. After graduating from college, their beautiful daughter, Carla, became a humanitarian aid worker. She once wrote, "Some people find God in church. Some people find God in nature. Some people find God in love. I find God in suffering. I've known for some time what my life's work is, using my hands as tools to relieve suffering."
Dang it.
In 2013,
spit.
while caring for suffering civilians in Syria,
off.
Kayla was kidnapped, tortured, and enslaved by ISIS and kept as a prisoner of al-Baghdadi himself. After more than 500 horrifying days of captivity, al-Baghdadi murdered young, beautiful Kayla. She was just 26 years old. On the night that U.S. Special Forces
How did they
operations
know?
ended al-Baghdadi's miserable life, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, received a call in the Situation Room. He was told that the brave men of the elite Special Forces team that so perfectly carried out the operation had given their mission a name, Task Force 814. It was
guess
a
it's the
reference
day
to a special day,
that she was
August
kidnapped
14th,
or her birthday.
Kayla's birthday. Carl and Marcia, America's warriors, never forgot Kayla, and neither will we. Thank you.
You gotta hear that. Oh no. Can't hear my mic. I mean, I don't think that. Okay, good. So, yeah. I don't even know my audio is on. There's a photo of him. He knows he's on TV right now.
Every day, America's men and women in uniform demonstrate the infinite depth of love that dwells in the human heart. One of these American heroes was Army Staff Sergeant Christopher Hake. On his second deployment to Iraq in 2008, Sergeant Hake wrote a letter to his one-year-old son, Gage. "I will be with you again," he wrote to Gage. "I will teach you to ride your first bike, build your first sandbox, watch you play sports,
Build your
and
first
see you have kids
sandbox.
also. I love you, son. Take care of your mother. I am always with you,
I never built a
Daddy."
sandbox with my dad.
On Easter Sunday of 2008,
He died.
Chris was out on patrol in Baghdad when his Bradley fighting vehicle was hit by a roadside bomb. That night, he made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Sergeant Hake now rests in eternal glory in Arlington, and his wife, Kelly, is in the gallery tonight, joined by their son, who is now a 13-year-old and doing very, very well. To Kelly and Gage,
Saw him earlier.
Chris will live in
On
our
here.
hearts forever.
Oh, there's
He's
that
looking
guy.
down on you now. Thank you.
He's like, I really don't want to have to be here. Please just let me leave. I'm 15 and I don't want to watch this.
Thank you very much. Thank you both very much. The terrorist responsible for killing Sergeant Hake was Qasem Soleimani, who provided the deadly roadside bomb that took Chris's life. Soleimani was
Why would
the
you tell
Iranian
him
regime's
that?
most
Now he's
ruthless
gonna-
butcher, a monster who murdered
gonna
or
be
wounded
like,
thousands of American service members in Iraq.
I'm gonna go
As the world's
to
top
Iraq
terrorist,
as a
Soleimani
13-year-old
orchestrated the
and
deaths
kill him.
of countless men, women, and children. He
Sorry,
directed the
chat.
December
I'm just
assault
trying to make conversation.
and went on to assault U.S. forces in Iraq, was actively planning new attacks when we hit him very hard. And that's why last month, at my direction, the U.S. military executed a flawless precision strike that killed Soleimani and terminated his evil reign of terror forever.
I haven't even taken a shower yet.
Our message to the terrorists is clear. You will never escape American justice. If you attack our citizens, you forfeit your life.
Now the Democrats stand up. Some of them at least.
In recent months, we have seen proud
ma.
Iranians raise their voices against their oppressive rulers. The Iranian regime must abandon its pursuit of nuclear weapons,
How long have I
stop
been lying?
spreading terror, death, and destruction, and start working for the good of its own people. Because of our powerful sanctions, the Iranian economy is doing very, very poorly.
Feels like
We
it's
can
been
help them
5
make
hours.
a very good and short time
I've barely been
recovery.
listening.
It can all go very quickly, but perhaps they are too proud or too foolish to ask for that help. We are
Am I
here.
full screen now?
Let's see which road they choose.
Yeah.
It is totally up to them.
I do have quite a bit of info that was.
As we defend
America,
American lives, we are
One more
working
point I
to end
disagree
America's
with, and
wars in the
local
Middle
events
East.
mentioned.
In
I swear he
Afghanistan,
hasn't mentioned
the
one.
determination and valor of our warfighters has allowed us to make tremendous progress, and peace talks are now underway. I am not looking to kill hundreds of thousands of people in Afghanistan, many of them totally innocent. It is also not our function to serve other nations as law enforcement agencies. These are warfighters that we have, the best in the world, and they either want to fight to win or not fight at all. We are working to finally end America's longest war and bring our troops back home. War places a heavy burden on our nation's extraordinary military families, especially spouses like Amy Williams from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and her 2 children, 6-year-old Eliana and 3-year-old Rowan. Amy works full-time and volunteers countless hours helping other military families.
Honestly,
For the
DM
past
me a
7
link
months,
if
she
you
has
like
done it
this
all
stream and
while
you
her
get a
husband,
shout-out.
Sergeant First Class Townsend Williams,
Like
is
the
in
stream and you're
Afghanistan on his
subbed.
4th deployment in the Middle East.
And you get a shout out.
Amy's kids haven't seen their father's face in many
And
months.
honestly, I'll give a shout out to Anon.
Amy, your family's
Go to him,
sacrifice
his name is Anon.
makes it possible for all of our families to live
I know
in
you probably like the
safety
stream. He's
and
not
in
here
peace.
right now.
And we want to thank you. Thank you, Amy.
But he subbed most likely like has like he I mean he's a little more good person than stream and I don't know about him. I just know he's good. You got that yummy.
But Amy,
Melania Trump.
there is
there you
one
go.
more thing. Tonight we have a
pronounce her
very
name.
special surprise. I am thrilled to inform you that your husband is back from deployment. He is here with us tonight, and we couldn't keep him waiting any longer.
That's beautiful. I think I learned from Call of Duty. That's a staff sergeant right there. Little wrist thing or arm patch. Kind of a sergeant. Correct, actually. I want to show you guys something. Where the fuck? Oh yeah, I do. Locked to only me. Giphy. Oh wait. USA, 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 USA. Oh,
Welcome home, Sergeant Williams. Thank you very much.
that's why.
As the world bears witness tonight,
Gotta give this bot
America
permission.
is a land of heroes. This is a place where greatness is born, where
Yes, I'm
destinies
still
are
alive.
forged, and where legends
Deal with it.
come to life. This is the home of Thomas Edison and Teddy Roosevelt, of many great generals, including Washington, Pershing, Patton, and MacArthur. This is the home of Abraham Lincoln, Frederick Douglass, Amelia Earhart, Harriet Tubman, the Wright brothers, Neil Armstrong, and so many more. This is the country where children learn names like Wyatt Earp, Davy Crockett, and Annie Oakley. This is the place where the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth and where Texas patriots made their last stand at the Alamo.
What up, Anna?
The beautiful, beautiful Alamo. The American nation was carved out of the vast frontier by the toughest, strongest, fiercest, and most determined men and women ever to walk on the face of the earth. Our ancestors braved the unknown, tamed the wilderness, settled the Wild West, lifted millions from poverty, disease, and hunger, vanquished tyranny and fascism, ushered the world to new heights of science and medicine, laid down the railroads,
There we go,
dug out the
chat.
canals, raised up the skyscrapers, and ladies and gentlemen, our ancestors built the most exceptional republic ever to exist in all of human history, and we are making it greater than ever before.
concern.
This is our glorious and magnificent inheritance.
That's what you.
We are
Exclamation
Americans. We
point.
are pioneers.
Why do I keep
We are the
spelling it wrong?
pathfinders. We settled the new world. We built the modern world. And we change history
Okay,
forever
like,
by
okay, yeah,
embracing the
ouais.
eternal truth that everyone is made equal by the hand of Almighty God.
Wait. Yo. Airman, is this you? Imagine if that's his
America
own
is the
clip.
place where anything can happen.
Ah,
America is the place
Schweizer.
where anyone can rise. And here, on this land, on
Imagine.
this soil, on this continent, the most incredible dreams come true. This nation is our canvas, and this country is our masterpiece.
Let's see it.
We look at tomorrow and see unlimited frontiers just waiting to be explored. Our brightest discoveries are not yet known. Our most thrilling
up?
stories are not yet told.
Hi.
Our grandest journeys are not yet made. The American age, the American epic, the American adventure has only just begun. Our spirit is still young. The sun is still rising. God's grace is still shining. And my fellow Americans,
Hi.
the best is yet
How are
to
you?
come. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless America. Thank you very much.
Is he done? Yo, you talking? Hello? My friend? Hello? Hello? Oh. Can you hear me? Oh my god, the State of the Union's over. Yo. I made it through. I'm just gonna leave that. Yo guys. I need a second point I disagree with. Honestly, I don't care if, at this point. I don't care if I get copyright striked. No, do you think the music video is copyright? Because I might just mute desktop audio. What's the exact name of it? Just so I can at least hear it, you know? Nah. I need... Chat. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who was in chat. Thank you to Alan. Although you were not here for like half of it. You weren't even here. I think I'm the highest level. Wow, I'm almost level 6. And I'm level 2. Alright. He's level 2 though. He's second. I could reset his XP if I wanted to. Click. You need sleep. I need a point I disagree with and a shower and sleep. Chat. Listening to music. Honestly, he didn't. Oh, my egg stream. Bye, Anon. I put it. I don't think he mentioned a single historical event. Now get sleep before I punch you in the face. I'm not actually gonna punch him in the face, Chad. Don't worry. He's already off. Good. Alright. That's orange because I have streamer mode on. Look at that. See that? See this, chat? Do you see this, chat? That's me. Yeah, I still have desktop audio muted. Go Google Drive. When you just love to stream. Did you see that right there? Did you see that right there, chat? It said President Trump delivered State of Union. Yep. State of the Union address. Let me think. Get that photo out of here. I want that open still. Okay, so English, yeah, 20th. Honestly, Chan, I'm just gonna make sure I did all my homework. I still have one more question. Do you have a... Can't touch this. Can't touch the... Imagine being a famous streamer and having your chat help you with your homework. That would be God. I'm gonna put this thing away. I just have a... Yeah. Just summarize the first 4 paragraphs. I'll start to make a meme. So I'm just gonna steal all those that I wrote already. I don't think he's gonna really give a shit. Oh yeah, this is bold. How did I turn? Oh, how did I turn on suggesting through there? Good enough. Chat, that's good enough for me. I'm just doing that just so that's on one page. I mean, that's all. I finished all these questions on here. Yeah. Now, what I must do is this. One notebook. How do you like me now? I'm making my memes. There you go, chat. That's done. You know, the only thing I left I can do in class. So that I have to do in class. There's textbooks in class. In chat. Nobody. But like, still. Happy to Anon who stopped by. I'm happy to those other two people that stopped by. Ooh, Zovi. Yeah, and Tycho Fowl. I know Zovi, I don't know him. The other guy, I don't remember at all. No gap. Ignore that photo right there, please. Silly for a class project. Health. I walked to school. Actually, just walk, you know. I actually walked.